Yeah, good morning and welcome to yet another online tutorial on microwaves and antennas. We were discussing about various spatial parameters of antennas. Again, like so 2, 3 more parameters. So maybe in another 1 or 2 classes, we'll wind up this module and we'll move on to the next module. Right. So before that, we were trying to solve some problems from the topics which we have already learned, so that you will get a better clarity. In fact, I posted these solutions in Canvas already. In today's session, what we will do is we will just try to have a quick recap on these problems. Day before yesterday, we studied the last topic which we studied was Friis transmission formula. Right. So we'll start with that Friis transmission formula problems. Right. We'll start with that. 1 second. So these are the problems. Right. These problems again. It is there in Canvas. Right. But right. So in Friis transmission formula, nothing is that we derived the Friis transmission formula. You know what is Friis transmission formula, right? So you may have a transmitter and a transmitting antenna, right? And a receiver at some distance and a receiving antenna, right? And this is actually what direct line of sight path, right? So this is direct line of sight path, which means it's a free space, right? There is no obstacle and there won't be any reflected path or anything. Only one direct line of sight path will be there, and this distance is actually what R. This is transmitting antenna. Our assumptions were both were actually what lossless and matched, right? Lossless and matched antenna. Lossless means efficiency will be 100%, or in other words, gain will be equal to directivity. Right. Matched means there is no actually what reflection. Whatever power is delivered by the transmitter, entire power will be actually what given to the transmitting antenna. Right. And we told this transmitting antenna can have a effective aperture AET and gain GT. Right. And similarly, receiving antenna effective aperture AER and gain GR, and if PR is the received power. So we had the Friis transmission equation. This transmission equation we had two forms, right? One was PR by PT is equal to AET AER divided by R square lambda square. So this was one form of equation, right? And another form was PT by PR is equal to GT GR lambda square divided by 4 pi r the whole square. So these are the two equations. So right. So you may either have to use this particular equation or this particular equation. Right. So you know by math, if there is one unknown, right, you need one equation. Right. If you have to find one unknown, you need actually what one equation. Or else if you have only one equation, you will be able to find out only one unknown. So the most of the problems will be right. Any one of the quantities will be missing. All others will be given. You will have to find out that. That's it. That will be the problem. And one more very important thing which you have to keep in mind is this gain should be actual value, right? Gain should be actual value. If gain is given in dB, you should convert it into actual value. So these are the two equations which you will be using. That's it. So we'll just quickly go through the questions, right? I won't be solving it, right? So already solution is made available. So a radio link has 15 watt transmitter. So this is PT, power transmitted is 15 watt, connected to an antenna of 2.5 meter square effective aperture. So it is AET is 2.5 meter square at 5 gigahertz. So frequency is 5 gigahertz. The receiving antenna has an effective aperture of 0.5 meter square. So this is AER. This is AER and located at 15 kilometers. So this is distance R. And it's given it is line of sight from a transmitting antenna, assuming lossless and matched antenna. Find the power delivered. So what we need to find is power received or power delivered. This is what we have to find out. So for that we can use equation number 1. PT is given, AR is given, AT is given, R is given, frequency is given. From frequency we can find out lambda, right? So you have to simply use this particular equation. So first equation. So in the PT is given, AET is given, AER is given, R is given, lambda is not given. Lambda can be found out as actually what? C by F. Right. Lambda should be substituted in meter. Right. Lambda should be substituted in meter. Right. So this can be found. So you can find it's straightforward substitution of the values in equation. So PT you can find. So should I solve this? Should I solve this problem, or you'll be able to manage it? Right? Please do respond. Right? If you want me to solve one problem and show, I can solve it. Otherwise, right? We'll go ahead to the next problem. There are actually what more tricky problems. Right? We'll try to solve such problems. And is it okay? Can I move ahead? Did you understand how to solve this problem? So if you have any doubt, you can watch the other video. And please do let me know if I have to solve at least one problem from this Frisch transmission formula. Elvin?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Could you watch the video yesterday?
No, sir, I couldn't, sir.
Couldn't. So those who
I'll
didn't
come
watch the
back.
video, right? Maybe please do make some time and watch the video. At least by this weekend, you finish watching the video, right? So this is I'm not solving it, right? So if you want me to solve, please feel free to ask me. Please do solve it, right? Otherwise, so I'll be skipping this first problem. I won't be solving it, right? So in next problem, right? Next problem is the power received by receiving antenna. So maybe I shall show the solution, right? I'll show the solution, right? So what is given as the power received by a receiving antenna at a distance of 0.5 kilometer over a free space at a frequency of 1 gigahertz is 10.8 milliwatts. So what is given? R is equal to 0.5 kilometer is given, right? And frequency 1 gigahertz is given, and power received is 10.8 milliwatts. It is given, right? Calculate the input transmitting. Calculate the input to the transmitting antenna. That is, PT is what we have to find out. If gain of the transmitting antenna and receiving antenna are 25 dB and 20 dB, so gain is given to be equal to 25 dB and 20 dB. So the equation which we have to use is PR by PT is GT lambda square by 4 pi R. So PR is given, GT is given, GR is given. Lambda can be found out from F. F is given to be equal to 1 gigahertz. Right, so F can be found out. But the problem here is, right, this GT and GR are given in dB. So we should be, this GT and GR should be actual values. GT and GR, which is substituted, should be actual values. So GT in dB is given to be 25 dB. So that is 10 log to the base 10 of GT by 1 is 25 dB. So actual GT will be actually what? Andy log to the base 10 of 25 by 10 or 10 to the power 25 by 10. That will be 316.2. Right. And similarly, GR is given to be 20 dB. So the actual value will be 100. So you have to substitute it there. And similarly, for F is equal to 1 gigahertz, lambda will be equal to C by F, that will be 0.3 meter. So you substitute everything here and find the unknown. That's it. So such problems are easy. So the at least one problem will be there, right? At least one problem or one derivation from this Frisch transmission formulas sure for your exam, right? I bet. So it can either be the one using equation of effective aperture or the other one using gain. So what you have to keep in mind is everything should be actually what you should substitute in SI unit, and gains should be in actual value. It should not be in dB. If it is given in dB, you should convert it into actual value and substitute. That's it. Right. That's about problems on Frisch transmission formula. Why I'm not solving this is these are straightforward. You can always watch this and understand. But the other problems, right? So these problems, right? We'll maybe in this 1 or 2 or 3, I may have to solve. Again, the solutions are available online, right? But again, I think I should solve at least one problem, right? So if you consider this particular problem, right, we'll try to take up this particular problem. Right, we'll try to take up this particular problem. Sorry, okay, let me just copy and then. Right. So this is one problem. This is actually what asked in 2019 or 2020 university exam. This question. Right. So prove that directivity of a source with unidirectional pattern of u of theta comma phi is equal to um cos power n theta, where n is any number and um is a constant, can be expressed as d times 2 into n plus 1. So some of you might have seen the solution already. I have posted the solution. For those who have not seen, right. So what is given? The radiation intensity, right? Radiation in 1 second. I'll just increase the thickness of this. Right. So radiation intensity u of theta comma phi is given to be equal to um cos raised to n theta, right? And it is given, it is unidirectional, right? Unidirectional pattern, unidirectional theta pattern means, right? So cos raised to n theta means it will be actually maximum will be along theta equal to 0 degrees. So cos raised to n theta pattern, it will be something like this, right? And if it is unidirectional, it is defined only from theta 0 to pi by 2, right? For the pi by 2 to pi of theta, it is not defined. So that is actually what unidirectional theta pattern. So I can write 0 less than or equal to theta less than or equal to pi by 2. So I understood this from the statement, it is unidirectional pattern. So this is what is given, where um will be the maximum value. Maximum value will be um, right? And cos power n theta, the maximum value of this will be equal to 1. So the maximum value of the pattern is um cos power n theta, right? So given field intensity, radiation intensity pattern, I have told you this, I can find the normalized power pattern, right? Normalized power pattern, right? I'm writing it as NPP. Normalized power pattern Pn theta comma phi is equal to u of theta comma phi divided by um, right? Um is actually what maximum value. So this will be equal to cos power n theta. So normalized power pattern is cos power n theta. So that is given, right? But radiation intensity is given. From that we can easily find out normalized power pattern. So what we need to prove is directivity is equal to 2n plus 1. Directivity of such a generalized pattern can be represented as 2n plus 1, right? To prove that directivity is equal to 2 times n plus 1. This is what we have to prove, right? This is what we have to prove. So given Pn theta comma phi is equal to cos power n theta for 0 less than or equal to theta less than or equal to pi by 2. So this is the question, right? This is the question. So what is directivity, by the way? Directivity is equal to 4 pi divided by omega A, where omega A is the beam area, right? So where beam area omega A can be found out as integral over theta and phi Pn theta comma phi no d omega. It is nothing but what, by definition, beam area is the integral of normalized power pattern over the complete solid angle. So in this case, the constraint is there, right? Theta is varying only from 0 to pi by 2, right? So I'm writing theta from 0 to pi by 2 and phi from 0 to 2 pi. Phi, no constraint is given here, right? Pn theta comma phi comma times d omega. And d omega, it is a differential solid angle, that is the solid angle subtended by a differential surface area on a sphere. So that will be equal to sine theta d phi. So this was repeatedly asked, and most recently last year it was asked this question, right? So I can find now omega A, right? Omega A can be found out from this particular equation as, right? So this is actually our equation number 1, right? Omega A is equal to integral theta from 0 to pi by 2, integral phi from 0 to 2 pi. P and theta phi is nothing but what? Cos raised to n theta sin theta d theta d phi. Right, cos raised to n theta sin theta d theta d phi. So what we can do is we can divide it into two integrals, right? So that is integral d phi, d phi, right? Integral d phi will be 2 pi, so that I can write 2 pi into integral theta from 0 to pi by 2 cos power n theta sin theta d theta, right? So we'll get this. So we know this is a general integral. So as it is n, we can't use calculator. We have to solve it using the actual method, right? So this can be solved using by, right, can be using method of substitution, right? Method of substitution, right? Substitution. So that is, you have to put, right? So if I call it, right, so this is omega a, if this is equation number 2, right? So put, right, u is equal to cos theta. So put cos, substitute cos theta is equal to u, right? Then we will get du by d theta, that is equal to minus sin theta, which implies, right, sin theta d theta, sin theta d theta is equal to minus du, right? So here we have a sin theta d theta, it can be replaced as du, and cos power n theta can be replaced as u power n. But we have to take care of the limit now, right? So from theta, I have, right, function of theta I converted into actually what? U, right? So I should take care of the limit, right? So for instance, when theta is equal to 0, u is equal to actually what? Cos theta, cos 0, that will be equal to 1. That will be the lower limit. And similarly, when theta is equal to pi by 2, u is equal to cos pi by 2, that will be equal to 0. So these are the limits, right? So now, known this limit and the like substitution which has to be made, I can rewrite 2 as, 2 can be written as omega a is equal to 2 pi times integral u from 1 to 0, cos power n theta will be u power n, cos power n theta will be u power n, and sin theta d theta will be minus du. So I am writing it as du, and that minus I am taking out, right? U power n du. So now I can, this is a straightforward integral now, u power n du. So now I can write this is equal to minus 2 pi times integral u power n is nothing but what? U power n plus 1 divided by n plus 1, and the limit, right, up lower limit 1 and upper limit 0, right? So now if you substitute this, right, now if you apply the limit, you will get minus 2 pi, right, by this n plus 1 can be taken out, minus 2 pi by n plus 1 into u power 1, sorry, u power n plus 1. So you substitute u is equal to 1. So 1 power anything is actually what? 1. So that is, sorry, first upper limit, u power 0 will be actually what? If, right, 1 second, right, 1 to 0 only, right? Yeah. So you 0 power anything is 0, right? Minus, right, minus 1 power anything is actually what? 1. So it is 0 minus 1, right? So that is actually what, that minus and minus will get cancelled. Now what we'll get is, I'll write here, omega a is equal to 2 pi divided by n plus 1. So you can keep it as a standard result, even though it's an intermediate step, right? If, right, it is unidirectional cos power n theta pattern, the beam area should be equal to 2 pi by n plus 1. So I'll call it equation number 3, right? Now, equation number 1 implies directivity D is equal to 4 pi divided by omega A, that is equal to 4 pi divided by 2 pi times n plus 1, right? 2 pi times n plus 1. So this is equal to 2 into n plus 1. So directivity is equal to 2 into n plus 1. Right. So this is how we can prove. So this was asked. Prove that if this is the pattern, prove directivity is 2 times n plus 1. So we got it. Right. So here the problem is we won't be able to use calculator. Why? Because it's a generalized solution. Right. It's a generalized solution. So we won't be able to use calculator. That is the problem. Right. And similarly, you can right. You can try, right. If the Pn of theta comma phi, Pn of theta comma phi, right, unidirectional, right, again unidirectional, Pn of theta comma phi is equal to sine power n theta. If Pn of theta comma phi is sine power n theta, right, unidirectional means in this case, theta will be 0 less than theta less than or equal to pi itself, but phi will be when phi less than or equal to pi, right? So in this case, this will be unidirectional, right? Just think through why this is unidirectional, right? So this you can find out what will be directivity, general expression for directivity. That is another possible question, right? What will be general expression for direct? If it is cos power n theta, that was 2 power 2 times n plus 1. If it is sine power n theta, if you, can you come up with a general expression for directivity? It won't be as straightforward as 2 times n plus 1. It will be slightly different, right? So this problem was not asked, but there is a chance. Unidirectional sine power n theta pattern. What will be the general solution for directivity? Right, you can try it out. So this particular problem, right, a general radiation intensity pattern is given. We wanted to prove directivity is 2 times n plus 1. So for that we use this equation. D is equal to 4 pi by omega A, and omega A is actually what? Integral of normalized power pattern over the given complete solid angle. And one more thing is, right, as it is unidirectional, you should know theta is from 0 to pi by 2. So I told for cos theta pattern, if it is unidirectional, I will be taking theta from 0 to pi by 2. And if it is sine theta pattern, right, sine theta pattern is unidirectional or sine power n theta pattern is unidirectional, I'll take pi from 0 to pi, right? Why is that? You have to find out. You have to find out why is that, right? So, did anyone has any doubt? If any doubt is there, feel free to ask. And are you able to follow? Am I going too fast? Are you able to follow this? Please respond. Nitishri,
Yes, sir.
are you able to follow this, or am I going too fast?
This problem was fine, sir.
This problem is fine. Right. What about the
Yes,
previous problem?
Sir, I did not watch the video, sir, yesterday.
Okay, okay. Those who watched the video, Kushi, did you watch the video?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So, any doubt in any problems?
No, sir. It's clear, sir.
Right. Okay. Okay. Fine. Yeah. So that's about that problem. Right. So now we'll move on to the next problem. Right. We'll move on to the next problem. Right. So the next problem is normally actually these two and 3 I didn't solve in that video. Why? Because similar problems we have solved. Right. But I received requests. Right. So maybe one of these problems should be solved. Right. So what I'll do is I'll solve one of these problems. Right. I'll solve one of these problems. Right. So which one I should solve, 2 or 3? Which one should I
Sir,
solve?
both the problems by approximation method.
Both the problems by approximation method. Okay, 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 fine. So that okay, that was the okay. What I'll do is I'll just I'll start with the first problem, right? I'll start with the first problem, right? So others, please do watch the video, right? So other problems, please do watch the videos, right? problem number 2. Right. What is this problem? Right. The question is, right, for a source having radiation intensity U of theta comma phi. This is again a previous university question. Right. This is again a previous year university question. Right. For a source having radiation intensity U of theta comma phi is equal to um sine square theta sine cube phi, given 0 less than or equal to theta less than or equal to pi and 0 less than or equal to phi less than or equal to pi. Find the directivity by exact method and approximate method. So given u is given, right? If u is given, I can, so directivity is actually what the steps to follow is directivity is 4 pi by omega a if it is actual method, right? And omega a, it is nothing but what? Integral over theta and phi. I am not writing the limit now. Pn theta comma phi d omega, right? Where this d omega is sine theta, d theta, d phi, and Pn theta comma phi will be u of theta comma phi divided by um, right? Where um is umax. So always this coefficient need not be maximum. If it is of the form sine n theta by sine theta and all, sine n theta by sine theta, this may not be maximum. So, but if it is product of sine or cosine or whatever, right, it ought to be actually what? Maximum, right? It ought to be maximum. That again, it depends, right? But okay, fine. Let's see, right? But in this case, must maximum. So I can write p and theta comma phi will be equal to actually what? Sine square theta sine cube phi. Sine square theta sine cube phi. Both theta and phi are actually what? 0 less than or equal to theta less than or equal to phi, and 0 less than or equal to phi less than or equal to pi, right? So this is what we have, right? So now we'll initially find out what is omega a. So omega a will be equal to integral theta from 0 to pi and integral phi from 0 to pi, right? We should be very careful about this limit. So now p and theta comma phi is nothing but what? Sine square theta sine cube phi, and d omega is sine theta d theta d phi, right? Sine theta d theta d phi. So we can write, right? We can split it into two integral, right? One is integral theta from 0 to pi. This sine square theta and sine theta d theta, that will become actually what? Sine cube theta d theta, and the next integral sine cube phi d phi, integral phi from 0 to pi sine cube phi d phi, right? That's it. So you can, as it is a definite integral, right, you can evaluate it using calculator. So what you will get if you evaluate using calculator? Those who have done it,
16 by 9.
Product individual integral, it is 4 by 3, right?
Yes,
Right.
sir.
So this will be 4 by 3, and this will also be equal to 4 by 3. You can use calculator. You can use calculator. So this will be equal to 16 by 9. So omega a is actually what? It is 16 by 9. So which implies directivity using actual method is actually what? 4 pi by omega a. 4 pi by 4 pi divided by 16 into 9. So it will be, what is the answer?
7.068.
7.068.
068.
This is the actual value, right?
Yes, sir.
And in dB, d in dBi is 10 log to the base 10 of 7.068. Please tell me what is it?
8.492.
Sorry,
492.
8.492 dB I. So dBi is nothing but what? Decibel over isotropic. Why? Because directivity of an isotropic radiator, it is equal to 1, right? Which means that in dB, that is equal to 0 dB, right? So any other directional antenna will have gain or directivity greater than that of an isotropic radiator. So when I say 8.492 dBi, it is actually what? 8.492 dB over isotropic. 8.492 dB more than isotropic, right? That is the meaning. So that is actually what, by using actual method. That is by using actual method, right? So now again, part B is actually what, using approximate method. Using approximate method, approximate directivity will be equal to what was it? 41253, right? Divided by theta half power in degree times phi half power in degree, right? Is it correct what I have written? 41253
Yes, sir.
divided, right? So this 41253 is nothing but what? 4 pi steradian converted into actually what? Square degrees. 41253 square degrees, right? But this omega A approximation is theta HP, pi HP. Those should be in degree, right? Okay. So now our PNS nothing but what? It was sine square theta. It was sine square theta sine cube phi, right?
Yes, sir.
Sine square theta sine cube phi, right? So when this will have maximum, now to find half power beam width, right? It's always good if you are able to visualize at least which direction it will have maximum. As it is actually what? Function of sine, right? As it is function of sine, right? I'll load the coordinates here. So this is theta equal to 0. This is theta equal to pi by 2, and this is theta equal to actually what? Say pi, right? And similarly, if this is z x-axis, this is y-axis, and this is z-axis, this is actually what? Phi equal to 0, and this is again equal to pi equal to pi by 2, and behind negative x-axis is actually what? Pi equal to pi, right? So you know that, right? So both are functions of the theta, and function of phi both are sine, right? So sine square theta will be maximum of sine square theta, that will be equal to 1, and it will occur at theta equal to pi by 2, right? And similarly, maximum of sine cube phi also, right? Sine cube phi also will be equal to 1, and it will occur at theta equal to pi by 2. So the maximum will occur when theta equal to pi by 2 is actually what? XY plane. Theta equal to pi by 2 is actually what? Is XY plane. You don't have to do these things in your exam, okay? Theta equal to pi by 2 is XY plane, and pi equal to pi by 2, it is positive YZ plane, right? So theta equal to pi by 2 is XY plane, right? Or if you consider only 1D, right? If you consider only 2D, right? If you consider only 2D, right? This is in 3D I told. So in 2D, theta equal to pi by 2 and pi equal to pi by 2, right? Both will occur along positive y-axis, right? So this pattern will have maxima along positive y, right? This pattern will have maxima along positive y. So I'm drawing this pattern like this. So this pattern will be like this. It will have maxima along positive y in YZ plane, right? So in YZ plane, the maxima will be along positive y, right? And similarly, if you consider this, yeah, and XY plane, in XY plane, the maxima will be along positive y, and similarly in YZ plane also maxima will be along positive y. So it's a 3D pattern. It's like a balloon, right? Kept along positive y. Do you want me to show the 3D representation of this pattern in GeoGebra, or this explanation is fine? You have to tell. If you want me to show, I can show that now. It won't take much time. Do you want me to show the 3D representation of this in GeoGebra? Please.
Yes, sir.
Huh?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'll show it. Give me some time. Right. I'll just open GeoGebra. Right. Okay, I'll stop sharing this, and I'll start sharing this particular screen. Right. 1 second. I'll stop sharing, and I'll start sharing the entire screen so that I can switch between different windows. Right. Right. So okay, now I came to GeoGebra. Right. I came to GeoGebra. So what I the function which I have to represent is sine cube theta. Right. The function which I have to represent is, I'll write here, sine square theta, and sine cube phi. Right. So in GeoGebra, I'll be representing theta as t and phi as v. Right. Theta as t and phi as v. Right. And you know, this is actually what the position vector. Right. So the position vector is actually what the position vector r is nothing but what, sine square theta, sine cube theta. So I have to convert it into actually what, r into x, y, and z. So x component will be r sine theta, cos phi, right, or r sine t cos v, and y will be r sine t sine v, and z will be nothing but what, r cos t. Z will be r cos t, where this r is nothing but what, sine square theta sine cube phi. This is what I am going to do. I am going to use the surface equation, and so I'll just, in single step only, I'll write surface, right. Then this expression x, y, and z parameters, z values I should give. So it's actually what, sine 1 second, sine square t, right, into sine square t into sine square v, sine cube v, right, sine cube v, right. Sorry, I may take some time to type, right, sine cube, but it's okay, sine cube v, right, uh, sine square t sine cube v times sine t. I should have used brackets here, sorry, right, I should have used brackets here, otherwise at times it may show error, right, sine square t into sine cube v, right, and maybe I should be using into here, into, and here again I should be using into, right, r sine theta cos phi, right, so into cos p, right, this is the x component, right. Similarly, I'll copy the this thing, right, control C. Okay, I can copy from here actually. This entire thing I can copy. Right, so that I have to, 1 second. Right. Uh, okay, or else I'll type, right. Simply, if I try, I'm not, right, cos v, right, comma. Next is I've defined x component. Next is into um, sine t into sine v, right. This, and next is this times cos t. Right, now I should apply the limit t from 0 to pi, right? 0 comma pi, and similarly v from 0 comma pi, right? So this is the pattern here, right? We got it now, right? We got it. I'll just try to fit into actually what zoom to fit, right? You can see this is the pattern, right? So this is the pattern. So you can see this is along maximum is along positive y, right? Maximum is along positive y, right? And both in xy plane and yz plane. Are you able to see this, Avishri? Sorry, now if
Yes,
I come
sir.
here, right? Okay, one second. I'll just okay. All of you are able to see this, right? So now I'll tell you how to from this how to evaluate half power points, right? So half power points, you can see theta is varying along this, right? Theta is varying, so I'll write x equal to 0. So x equal to 0, right? Right. So can you see this plane x equal to 0 plane? If I cut this pattern through this yz plane, right? If I cut this pattern through this yz plane, right, I will get how the 2D pattern, theta plane 2D pattern, right? So if I cut this along yz plane, along this plane, are you able to appreciate it? Right, this pattern, if I cut along yz plane, I'll get actually what? Theta in 2D, theta plane pattern, right? One principal plane pattern. And similarly, if I cut it along y equal to 0, right? If I cut it along y equal to 0, right? This one I'm hiding, right? If I cut it along xy plane, right? If I cut it along xy plane, right? This plane, I will get the variation of phi, right? It will tell me variation of phi, and the other one would have told me variation of theta. Is it clear now how this pattern is?
Yes, sir.
Right. Okay, fine. Now shall we go on and continue solving this problem? So that's what I have shown here, right? So it has maximum along plus phi, right? And one principal plane cut. If I want to find half power beam width in terms of theta, what I should do is I should cut it in yz plane. And if I want to see the half power beam width along phi, I should cut it in xy plane. So that is what I'm. So I'll show those things separately, right? So I'll draw the principal plane pattern, right? Principal plane pattern, right? So theta plane, right? Theta plane is nothing but what? It is yz plane, which implies phi equal to pi by 2, right? In theta plane, right? That is yz plane, phi equal to pi by 2, right? So our Pn theta comma phi, right? In yz plane, positive yz plane, I should write, right? Positive yz plane, that is phi equal to pi by 2. In Pn theta comma phi is nothing but what? Sine square theta sine cube phi, right? Sine square theta sine cube phi. So if you substitute phi equal to actually what? And one more thing I can write, theta will vary from 0 to pi, right? In this theta will vary from 0 to pi, but phi is a constant, right? So you substitute phi is equal to pi by 2. So what you will get? That will be sine square theta pattern. I can draw it here, right? So this is theta equal to 0, and this is y axis, right? This is theta equal to phi, and this is theta equal to pi by 2. So the maximum will be along theta equal to pi by 2. Maximum will be along theta equal to pi by 2. And you can see the half power points will happen. One will be here and the other will be here. The half power beam width is nothing but what? The angular separation between these two, right? So this pattern is nothing but what? It is sine square theta pattern. Why? Because sine cube phi is actually what? It is 1 when for phi equal to pi by 2. Are you clear with this now? Are you
Yes,
clear
sir.
with this? Are you able to appreciate the theta plane pattern as sine square theta? Why? Because phi is equal to pi by 2, and in this theta will vary from 0 to pi, right? So these are half power points. This is one half power point. This is another half power point, and this is maximum, right? So half power beam width is separation between these two half power points. So I can write at half power points. At half power points, I can write sine square theta is equal to 1 by 2, which implies theta will be equal to sine inverse of 1 by root 2. So that is equal to 45 degree, right? So when theta equal to 45 degree, one half power plane you will get, and also for 135 degree you will get, right? So next half power point will be actually what, theta equal to 135 degree, right? So theta is measured from theta equal to 0, not from the maxima. So I need to find this separation. To find this separation, I need to find this angle. This angle will be nothing but what, 90 minus 45 degree. Fortunately, as this is 45, this will be 45 itself. And what will be this angle? This angle will be 135 minus 90 degree, right? So the half power beam width, the separation between half power beam width is actually what, separation between half power points. So the half power beam width, right, that is theta HP is equal to, I can tell, 135 minus 45. That is equal to 90 degree. So theta HP is actually what, 135 minus 45. That is equal to 90 degree, right? So it's we are almost nearing the time. But those who want to leave can leave. Others can actually what, stay back. Anyhow, I'll make this recording available in YouTube, right? So that is theta HP. And similarly, phi plane pattern is nothing but what, it should be done in actually what, XY plane, positive XY plane, which implies theta equal to pi by 2, and pi will vary from 0 to say 90 pi, 0 less than pi, less than or equal to pi, right? That is phi plane pattern. So our p and theta comma phi in phi plane pattern will be sine square theta times sine cube phi, right? So this theta, if you substitute equal to pi by 2, you will get, right, it will be sine cube phi. It will be sine cube phi, right? It will be sine cube phi. So the sine cube phi pattern will be, right, I'll draw it here, right? This is x-axis, this is y-axis, right? And this is negative x. This is phi equal to 0. This is phi equal to 90 degree. This is phi equal to 180 degree, right? So this pattern will be like this only, similar, right? So again, maxima is along plus phi plus y, right? The half power beam width. So at half power points, I can write at half power points, I can write sine cube phi is equal to half, which implies sine phi is cube root of half. Sine phi is cube root of half, right? And phi will be sine inverse of this cube root of half. So what are the values? Around 90 degree. So I need two values, right? One will be before 90 degree, right? This value I need, and also this value, right? What will be those values? In first and second quadrant, right? In first and second quadrant, sine will have same value. Sine will be positive in first and second quadrant. So what are these values? In first quadrant, I will get, what is the value? Kavishri?
52.53.
Sorry, 52.53 degree, right? And in second quadrant, it will be 180 minus 52.53. What is that?
127.47.
127.47. Please verify, is it 180 minus 52.53?
Yes, sir.
Right. So it will be, if this is theta, this one will be 180 minus theta in second quadrant in case of sine theta, right? So these are 127.47 and 152.53, right? So theta values we got. So which implies, sorry, phi HP will be 127.47 minus 52.53. What is this? Again, is it 90 degree? Sorry, what is this? Not 90 degree. What is 70?
74.94.
74.94 degrees. So we have these things, theta HP and phi HP. Right. So what we have to do is, directivity is approximately equal to 41253 divided by theta HP is 90 degree and phi HP is actually what? 74.94 degree. What is the value of this?
6.11.
6.116.
6.116. Right. So this is the approximate value. That's it. And similarly, in the other case also, you try to do the same thing. Right. You try to do the same thing. Right. In the other case, I think you can, but in the other case, maximum, it's cos theta sin phi. Cos into sin. So maximum will be neither along 0 nor along actually what phi. It will be somewhere in between. Right. So if it is cos into sin, maximum will be somewhere in between. So the maxima, the pattern will be something like this. Right. So around these maxima values you have to find. So you find when this is equal to half, right? Put two values. For two values, this will be equal to half. Right. Find the separation between those two. Right. You can try it as a homework. Maybe in next class again we can repeat it. Right. The second problem, if you want, I can solve it. So I hope it is clear now. Is it clear now? Those who
Yes,
asked
sir.
out, right? So you understood how to, right? So you don't have to actually what struggle and visualize it. That is not exactly required, right? If you can use math, but if the idea is there, you won't make any mistake, right? If the idea is there, you won't make any mistake. That's it. So I'll post this video. So for those who left, I'll post this video again in YouTube. Right, and that's it. But those who didn't watch the videos 3.11 and 3.12, please watch it. Right, please watch it. I don't want you to watch it completely. If you go to Canvas, I have posted the questions there. Right, you can just see those questions. Right, if you are able to solve that, not a problem. If you are not able to solve, you can actually watch the video. That's it. Okay, thank you so much for patient listening. So we'll wind up here. Right, if anyone has any doubt, can stay back. Others can leave. Sorry, I took 5 minutes extra. Right, but it was worth, right? Most of you had that confusion, right? I think in last class someone asked that doubt. See, Kirtana had asked that doubt, right? So I explained it to her, but I could understand all of you, most of you had the same doubt about approximate method, finding half power beamwidth. I hope it is clear now, right? Thanks to GeoGebra, right? If it helped, right? So okay, thank you. All of you can leave. Right. If no doubt is there, we'll wind up the session here.